The topic for this video is using Google Forms to help your students prepare for large assessments. What I've done here is created a sample form with some questions designed just to get the students to start thinking about what they need to be working on as part of the review time. So I've just gone and created a form that uses a grid. It doesn't look a lot like a grid in the planning stages, but there's my grid. Got a list of the various topics. You can use test names, straight up chapter names, topic names, however you had your course organized. I would suggest trying to break the rows down based by small-ish units of measure. Columns will be how you want them to categorize how they did on those topics during the year and help them to think about what kind of effort they're going to need to put into studying or preparing for those components. And then the next question follows up on that. What are the priorities? The next few questions I've included in this Google form are to help them with the planning. And so to do that, I just went to the internet and grabbed a copyright-free image for doing some goal planning. You can use whatever is appropriate for your course or talk to student services to determine if there's anything you want to put in here. And then my last two questions are just to get them to start really thinking in more details about how they're going to execute, what they're going to do to prepare, and then also to get them thinking of the end result. I've read a number of things recently that says getting them to think ahead and getting them to think about what they want and how to get there will really help them achieve those goals. You can also see that I've used the color palette to put a bit of a theme on here, a very studious theme. Other themes you can use is someone reaching to the sky or shooting a basketball, whatever you think will help them get the idea of achieving something. When you're creating the form, you can add one small setting that will allow you to have the results of this form or the information that the student types in emailed to them. And that way they can refer to their own thoughts later on to help them with the planning, and they can share this information with other people who may be helping them do the review. This key setting can be found under the gear where it says settings, and you have to check the box that says collect email address. If you do that, then as I said, you can add a simple little add-on that will have the responses sent to the student as soon as they fill out the form. Click Save. And then you can preview this just to have an idea of what it's going to look like for the students. And now you can see what the grid looks like. So there's my topics, there's how they're going to categorize it, and here's where they can start filling in the answers. Now that you've got the form basically created, what you can do is you can have an add-on that will then email this information to the student. And this is what I think will help it really stick with them, is if they can keep going back to their inbox to see what this looked like for them, to see what they thought they needed to work on it. And that may change for them. They can go back and refill out the form if they suddenly realize they need to change their plan. But it is a reference point for them. It's not just filled in on the internet and gone. So the way you can do that is if you go to your responses and create the spreadsheet, create a new spreadsheet, this is where the answers will go by default. And from here you can control whether or not the answers actually get emailed to the student. So under add-ons, I've already added on a tool that I really like. It's called Formule, and that will allow me to get the responses emailed to the student. So essentially, as soon as the student fills out the form, you get a copy in the spreadsheet, and the student gets a copy in their inbox, and then that's something they can track. It's something they can share with their mentor, with their parents, or with anyone else they're working on. Very quick run through on how you can use Google Forms to help students start thinking about and planning for the review. As always, if you have any questions or concerns about this or any other technology we use here, please feel free to let me know, and I hope you have a great day.